Hi, third grade. I just want to walk through what you have here in your math folder today. I hope everyone's having a great Friday so far. Here are a few things I have in here that's going to help you today. And I think you should take advantage of all the resources I put in here. In this folder, I have unit review videos. These are all of the videos that we used when learning all of our skills. I went in here and added multiplication on a number line, multiplication as repeated addition. I put in here a video on division as repeated subtraction and a video in here about division as sharing, okay? All of these videos, I would watch them. That's going to help you big time on your test. Big time on your test. So I just wanted to make sure you are aware that those resource videos are there for you. So use them. I'm also going to show you here that I have a multiplication, all the facts right here. This is going to be part of that challenge I was talking about when we were in class, and it's not graded, so do not worry. Do your best and you get participation points, okay? But it needs to get done. We're tracking our progress throughout the year. So you need to get that multiplication, all the facts done. It's a 5-minute mini assessment, but remember it's not graded and you do get bonus participation points for participating in it, but it is necessary. You have to do that. That's not optional. You have to do that because I need a score for everyone. I need a score for everyone. And we're going to track our scores as we go further down through our journey of multiplication. And by the end of third grade, we're going to see how much we have grown as third graders. It's going to be kind of cool. It's the same one we took in class for those of you who were in school, but I kind of want all my data online, so I want you to go ahead and take it on here. So everyone's going to be taking it on here. And you click on it, and I'm going to take you to the preview page. So here I have directions, and it's going to say weekly fact fluency assessment of 100 facts. You may flag problems to go back and finish them. So I'll teach you how to do that. You cannot use any times table chart. You cannot do that. You may use any of the other strategies but you're not allowed to use times table chart. You have 5 minutes. And remember, this is not for a grade. It's not for a grade. It's not for a grade, but it is mandatory. You must take this. So when you are ready, you're going to go ahead and start your attempt. And it is timed, so you have about 5 minutes to answer these, and you just do your best. So you just go ahead and you fill in the blank for each of them, okay? You press on the box and you fill in the blank for each of them. And I'll show you. You go straight through all of them here. By hitting the next button, takes you to the next problem, and so forth. And then the next one, and then the next one. And then you get to move on through there. So just do your best. And when your time is up, your time will be up. And that is for multiplication, 100 facts. Remember, that's only going to take you 5 minutes, so don't stress on that. Then we have our unit assessment. So I'm going to go there and show you that. I'm going to get out of here and go show you our unit assessment. Right here, topic 1, unit assessment. I'm going to go through and walk through all of the directions to completing that. And here we go. So right here, there are voice directions. I want you to listen to those voice directions and listen to them carefully, please.
Jace drew a picture. Choose all of the equations that go with Jace's picture.
So you have to look at this equal groups. Look at this model of equal groups. We've worked a lot with equal groups. And I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, it says choose all that apply, choose all equations that apply. There are 2 that apply, okay? There are 2. You need to select 2 that apply. It says choose all that apply. There are 2. So you have that to answer. Then, let's move on. Now, this is the writing tool. You're going to use the writing tool for this one to answer this question, so listen closely.
Aiden puts 2 turtles in each of 4 aquariums. What is the total number of turtles? Show the multiplication problem on a number line, then write the answer.
So you have to use the number line, and what I would do if you have a piece of paper at home or if you have a whiteboard, I want you to try to figure out what the multiplication equation is. Go ahead and write it out. What times what? Because that's going to tell you how many groups you need in that first factor and then how many's in each of those groups. And that's going to help you with your jumps. And do not forget, you have to write how many turtles. You have to write the answer. Where it says turtles, you have to tell me. So after you complete it by showing me that multiplication equation on the number line, you have to write the answer. How many turtles? All right, moving on. We're going on to number 3. You're going to read all of this. Well, you're not going to read it. You're going to listen to it. And then you have some options here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and listen to it.
Min paints 12 rooms. To paint 3 rooms, he needs 2 cans of paint. He wants to know how many cans he will need in all. Which tools would be appropriate for Min to use to solve the problem? Choose all that apply.
Now, that means you have to choose all that applies. That means you have to choose everything that would apply to that, okay? So there's more than one answer here. And I'm going to tell you, you can do this. This is fairly easy, so you need to think about it. Min paints 12 rooms. To paint 3 rooms, he needs 2 cans of paint. So he needs to know how many cans he needs in all, okay? So how would you solve that? Now, this could be a division and multiplication equation, so you have to think about this. What do we use in school to solve those problems? What do we use? Here are your options. Counters, ruler, pencil and paper, and tiles. Tiles are like those things that I sent home. Tiles are those little tiles that I sent home for arrays. So choose all that applies, okay? Now that doesn't mean choose all of them. That means there are multiple answers to this question. All right, let's move on to number 4. Megan organized her photos in this array. Draw a different array that shows the same factors. This is commutative property. We just reviewed this the other day. And then you have to write the flip-flop lollipop equation. You can do this. So look at this array. And there are voice directions here too when you need it. There's this array here. What would happen if we lay it down? What would that look like? You have to draw that. And then you have to tell me what are the equations for each array. And you have to draw it with your marker here. What is the equation for this one? You're going to do that one right under here. And what is the flip-flop equation? Right here. You all are going to do such a wonderful job with this. And going back to that, when it's asking you, when I asked you to draw arrays, I'm just going to tell you, remember, you are drawing the opposite array, the matching array, but the opposite, okay? What would happen if you take that array and lay it down? What would it look like? But I just want to show you with this writing tool, it might be easy for you to draw your array by just making circles, okay? You might not want to like scribble it all in. Just like little circles like that you can make to make your array. And remember, you have to write the equations that match this one and the equations that match this one. Moving on to number 5. 3, let's listen.
Josiah makes 6 3-point baskets in his basketball game. For questions 5A through 5D, choose yes or no to tell if the equation shows a way to find the number of points that Josiah scores. Josiah makes 6 3-point baskets in his basketball game.
That's very important to note is this part right here. Josiah makes 6 3-point baskets, okay? 6 3-points. 6 3-point baskets. So you have to look at each of these and you have to answer them, yes or no. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's look at this 5A. 6 times 3 equals 18. Yes or no? Look at what you have here. Could I use 6 times 3 equals 18 to find out the number of points? Yes or no? Now look at 5B. What about 2 times 6 equals 12? Yes or no? What about this one? 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. There's 6 3's here that equal 18. Would that show me? Yes or no? And 6 plus 6 equals 12. Would that show me? So I want you to think about what you know about multiplication and its relation to repeated addition. And I want to just tell you that there are 2 yeses in this problem. So you have to figure those out. That's your little hint there. And pay attention and replay that sound if you need to. Replay that sound if you need to. And you do have to fill in the bubbles here. Okay, so you just fill in the bubbles with the marker here. Moving on to number 6, Teresa is growing 2 rows of tomato plants and 4 plants in each row. You have to draw an array for that. That's going to be fun. So find the total number of plants by doing that. So says you have to draw an array that shows 2 rows with 4 plants in each row. You can do that. And then you have to find the total number of plants. You just write what's the total. You can even write out the multiplication equation for bonus points. I will give a bonus point for that. If you write out the entire equation and put the product, I will give you a bonus point. All right, let's listen to this one.
Anne has 25 tennis balls. She wants to put them into cans that hold 3 balls each. Can there be equal shares of balls with no balls remaining? Why or why not?
All right, so you have to think for yourself, when we're dividing, is it always equal? We talked about this the other day in class, and we discussed that it's not always equal. Every time you divide a number into another number, it could not always be equal. So that's why this is a great question, because it's asking you to take 25, divide it by 3, and see what happens. Can you divide that equally? Can you divide 3 into 25 equally? Draw that out with your marker. You have counters that I sent home. Use those, or use pen and paper. Or a pencil and paper. Use pencil and paper. Draw it out. And then tell me, is it yes, 25 is equally divided by 3? Equally meaning there's equal groups with nothing left over? Or no, 25 is not equally divided by 3. There will be 1 ball remaining. So which one is the right answer? Yes or no? Moving on to number 8. So let's listen to this question.
Crystal draws jumps on a number line to solve a multiplication problem. Which multiplication equation does her number line show?
So this is fairly easy if you know what those jumps mean, okay? And those jumps tell you how many groups, and the lines in between the units, how many is it in each group. Okay, so what's that look like in a multiplication problem? Choose one. One of those is correct. One is correct. So pay attention. Which one is correct? You have to know what that first factor means. That's a big clue. Let's move on to number 9. We're almost there because we only have 11 questions. And you are going to do great. You're going to do great. So let's see what Al needs.
Al needs to put 9 basketballs in each bin. He has 45 basketballs. Which equation can help you find how many bins Al can fill?
All right, so sometimes in division, we learned that sometimes we can use division to find out how many is in each group, but we also can use division to find out how many groups we need, okay? So I want you to look closely at the total here, 45 basketballs, okay? 45 basketballs. Okay, what equation will help us find how many bins Al can fill? So you need to tell me which one can tell me how many bins Al can fill. You might want to work all of this out. So they started some of it for you, but you might want to work these out. So you might want to check out your choices here, and you might want to draw it out and work it out and see how that looks. Okay? Which one? So which one is going to show me 9 basketballs in each bin? And which one shows me that I have 45 to start with? Those are your clues. Then here, we're going to listen to number 10.
Zach uses repeated subtraction to find 48 divided by 8. How many groups of 8 does Zach subtract?
So how many groups does 8 does Zach subtract? So I would get out your dry erase board and marker and you do repeated addition to solve this problem. 48 divided by 8. Now, I'm going to leave this optional. You can draw a model to solve this as well. You could draw repeated addition, or you could draw a model. Both will give you the same answer. So I want you to decide what you want to do and go ahead and figure out that problem. And we are on our last question.
Sima makes 14 muffins to give to her friends. She wants to give 2 muffins to each friend at her party. How many friends can she invite?
Oh, I love stories like this. It's so real to life. We always have parties. So you have 14 muffins, and you want to give 2 muffins to each friend, okay? So how many friends can she invite to her party so everybody gets 2 muffins? So you have to figure out, what do you have to do to solve this problem? You have 14 muffins, and you want to share them. You want to share 2 with each friend. So tell me, how would I solve that? You have to decide how to solve that. I'm not going to tell you. You have to decide how to solve that, and then you have to pick the correct answer. And that is all. Don't forget to review. Go back and check your answers and see if you're satisfied with all of them. This is a huge grade. This is a unit test grade. It's going to be a pretty big one. And when you are done, make sure you press finish. And you are all done. I do have to go back and grade these because a lot of them are drawing. So you're not going to get a final grade right away. But I don't want you to worry about that. All right? So I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Don't stress the test. You're going to do great. We've worked really, really hard on this unit, and I have no worries. I think that all of you are going to do a fabulous job, and I will see you bright and early on Monday morning. Bye, and don't forget to look at those resource videos. And I hope you did those practice problems on page 50, 51, 52, okay?